How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And, yeah, it is Belgian strong ale time in the form of Draai Laag Brewing's Goedenacht. Did a couple Draai Laag beers, two I believe. They're Havoken and another one that slipped my mind. Very semi-local brewery to me, out of close to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They seem like they kind of zero in on pretty much just doing Belgian-style beers. The first one, I believe, was like a Belgian strong ale, and the other one was a Belgian strong dark, or I forget what they were. Regardless, I really enjoyed them, but they're a bit, not off, but a bit of a twist on them. It seemed like they put their own kind of twist on it, which is kind of nice. You know, to duplicate a nice Belgian beer is awesome, but to bring your own spin to it is a fantastic thing. So, went to an out-of-town 6-pack place this weekend. Saw this sitting on the shelf and said, damn, another one I haven't tried yet, so I got to review it. First things first, what's on the label? Goedenacht, which means good night in German, I believe. Ale brewed with apples, orange blossom, honey, and coriander. 9.5% alcohol. Draai Laag Brewing, Millvale, PA, and other than that, government warning stuff and whatever. Good night. Almost 10% beer, so I assume they're saying that because it's a beer that can light you up. And but looking at the ghettoest label in the history of mankind, I mean, this is the ghettoest label I've ever seen in my life. It is a purple bear pouring beer into a green duck's mouth, while a deer plays a banjo and a rabbit, and a carrot-colored rabbit, lays back and chugs a beer. So, and it's drawn really, really horrible in a absolutely fantastic way. Like, this is horrible drawing, and I love everything about this label. Everything about it. It's not like an ironic thing where it's like so bad it's ironic. Just something about it, being that it's Belgian-inspired beers. Their labels tend to be a little bit simplistic in their art design, and this kind of captures that spirit. So I tell you right now, I really enjoy the label. So there you go. Let's see what this sucker has to offer. Belgian strong ale, 9.5%. It looks like it has a crazy amount of funk kind of floating around in the bottom there, so we'll see what happens. That sucker is active. Ooh, coriander out the wazoo. Oh, that is a head. That is a head. A gigantic head. Super clear. I mean, if you look down there, I mean, that doesn't get much clearer than that. Kind of weird, your Belgian strong darks. Strong darks. It's not a strong dark, obviously. Your Belgian strong ales, your blondes, even your triples. I tend to want all my Belgian ales to have a little bit of a cloudy murkiness to it. Like I said, it looks like it does have a little bit kind of going on in there. So if we can get the whole beer poured, there we go. Might get a little bit more cloudy density, get a little bit of yeast in there, which is not a bad thing for Belgians. So yeah, with that little bit of yeast in there, it's getting a more welcoming color, at least for me. But yeah, I mean, that is a head. Poof. Talk about an active beer, you know? So that's good enough. Yep, 9.5% alcohol. Let's see what we have. So first off, that's a fist-sized head. As you can see, that sucker is creamy, as it is just mounds and mounds of creaminess on top. Smaller to bigger bubbles going on top. White as white could be. And like I said, it does have a nice kind of cloudy haziness to it once I got a little bit of that yeast in there. There's a decent amount of carbonation going on. So yeah. It looks nice. It's almost like neon yellow in color. Like I was going to say urine yellow. But yeah, I mean, that is quite freaking bright. So we'll see. Nose-wise, I mean, this is going to be, I don't know how to get a nose off good. It smells more, that citrus orange coriander is there. That, like I said, when I first cracked it, you smell the coriander. From here, as much as I can get a nose off it, it's definitely like orange peel, lemon zesty, not a hop, but more like actual like pieces that they said were in there. What did they say were in there again? Apples, orange blossom, honey, and coriander. It definitely has that big fruit character, and that coriander is there. I'm a fan of coriander in my beers, especially my Belgian Goldens, my Belgian triples. I like a little bit of coriander in them, so thumbs up for that. So yeah, I mean, it smells nice as much as nose I can get off a head like this, and it looks almost nuclear in blondness. So I'm gonna fight through this head and see what she's got. Cheers. See, it's not a bad beer, but it's, I mean, I guess it's its own style. And that's the thing with Draai Laag. It seems like what they bring to their beers, what they call it, it's kind of reminiscent of what they call their beers. Even though it doesn't say it on here, I looked it up online just to see what kind of style of beer it was before I bought it. And they called it a Belgian Golden Ale. Strong Belgian Golden Ale, I guess, was the what they wanted it to be called. It is that, but it's different. It has a slight tartness to it because of that fruit involved. That apple, that orange blossom, honey. Even though that's the sweet part, I think that gives it a bit of tartness to it. Coriander's there, but it's overpowered by that apple. That tartness from that apple is just kind of trumping everything in it. It's drinks like water. So you're talking about a skosh under a 10% beer and it's drinking like water, and that's kind of scary. But yeah, it's a nice beer, but it's a little bit too tart for my liking. Almost tastes like a goza, but without the salt. Yeah, not a bad beer. Just a little bit off. The apple's a bit too much for me. And even though like coriander's there is way bigger in the nose than it is in the mouth, where the apple's just overpowering it. So yeah, rating wise, I give it an 80. Not a bad beer, just a little bit disjointed for me. If you could kick the others up a little bit and dial back that apple, I think you might have a winner. It's just that apple tartness, just too much for me. Value and availability, I think I paid $5 for the bottle, so not too shabby for a local Belgian inspired brew. So I give it like a 6 on a value scale. And availability, I don't really see them much anywhere, so I'm going to give it availability of a 2, even though it is an in-state thing. It's all the way on the other side of the state, and it's not like they get a ton of distribution up here. So yeah, 80 overall. And alright scores for value and availability. So there you go. Draai Laag. Goedenacht. Good night. Not a bad beer. If you want to try a Belgian Golden Ale that is slightly tart, something that has a tartness to it, be worth it for you to give it a whirl. And if you just want to try something local, I mean, not even local, but an interesting brewery. All the beers, the 3 that I've had from them, have been very interesting, as is this one, even though I didn't give it a fantastic score. For a brewery to be bringing this kind of stuff to the table is a good thing. Tip my hat to them if I had a hat. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Untapped. Massive beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice beer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.